Hey friends, we are Sarájanée and Annacrizelda, and this is Everything and No Less, the podcast where your favorite long-distance besties talk about everything. From women's sports to Marvel movies to things we love, things we hate, and everything in between. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Hello, Anna.
Hello, Sarájanée.
How are you today? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling
good. I feel like you have an important update for us. Do you have any notes?
I do. Me and Eric completed our 5K this weekend. Yay.
Fireworks. Those are like firework fingers. That's very exciting.
Thank you. Thank you. I am a runner now.
You are a runner now.
Plot twist.
Always been a runner. Always been a runner in there. What was that experience like? Did anything surprise you, or was it kind of as you expected?
I think because I've never run any kind of race before, and it was nice to run with the people. That was really fun. It was pouring rain. The weather was bad, but I think it was just also a nice collective of we're all in this together. We all showed up to run this, even though it's pouring rain. And the rain actually did feel nice after you got past the halfway point.
Okay, good.
But yeah, there were some people there who were flying. I think the fastest time was 17 minutes, solid sub 20 5K, which is really fast. I'm wow. To be done in 17 minutes is that's not even
It's like a warm up.
Yeah.
It's really wild. I have a cousin who was a distance run. Well, he would not describe it as a distance, I guess extended a sprinter in college. So he did the 400, but would train 400, 800, and would train in distances. And so he was that kind of person. Probably still could, right? It's really awesome, but it's also just mind-boggling. I'm 17 minutes. You have to hit the pavement running. You're just rolling, right?
Rolling. But very proud of that person. Very proud of everybody who did the 5K.
You. It's very
Thank
exciting.
you.
You started something new. You saw it through.
Did. Stay tuned for the 10K.
Okay, let's go. I was going to ask, do you see future races?
I think we'll at least try to do a 10K at some point in the future, but yeah, I like it. We went on a little run this morning.
Nice, just for fun?
Fun. I mean, if you ask Eric, he will not say it was fun. He will say, I've lost my mind.
That's also fair too, but that's exciting, finding the joy, or I don't even know if joy is in it, because joy can look like a lot of things, so I don't just mean exuberance, but finding something that you're enjoying the process feels important. It feels really important. It's exciting. Okay, look at us. Thinking about running, and we love talking about rituals. I don't know that we've yet delved into what are our gym rituals, so I would love to hear that. And then I think I was looking at, or just in multiple ride shares recently, and I was oh, how have my car rituals changed? So I would love to start with, what are your gym rituals? And then let's talk about what we have to have or do in the car.
Okay. Gym ritual, definitely, it's more of a series of thoughts. It's more an internal ritual for me. So I'll walk in the gym, check in, and then I have to say out loud, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And then I have to look around and say, there's too many people here. Mm-hmm. And then I have to start stretching. And then I have to do my first exercise. And then after my first exercise, I say, wow, I love it here. And that's my ritual. It always goes that way. I feel the expression of I don't want to be here is very important because, and then I also have to say, we should leave and get McDonald's. That's also part of it.
That's very good.
I feel it's important to express that you don't want to be there, acknowledge alternate realities where you are in fact not there, and then push through and be I am so glad I'm here.
I agree with that. I think mine are a little similar. Since the gym is in the apartment building, I in my mind want to spend the least amount of time in there. So I'll do my stretching beforehand. And right now it's PT. So it's my ankle warm-ups, what they call toe yoga. Everybody's creative. But anyway, so I do all of that. But I guess even before then, I have to take my clothes out like in advance, whether it's the night before or like earlier in the morning. If I know I'm going in the afternoon, like they have to be set out. If it's the kind of thing where like going to the gym is dependent on me picking clothes out in that moment, it just gets really tricky. I also have to have like the alternate reality, but I think it's a little bit of like, I don't want to do this, but it's like I have to give myself an out. Like, okay, it's a small gym. If there are more than 5 people, nope, we turn around. We're not doing it. Okay, we have an out, right? Like, what are the minimums that I can do, right? Like, I'll do this, and do that. And if I go above, really great. But if I just check off these minimums, we've done it. And so I think that's like those are my parameters and my framing for getting in and getting out and I guess really just like getting myself there. But while I'm there, also like I have to have headphones. I gotta have something to listen to. I cannot be dependent on the sounds of the gym. Too many things happening, and usually I have to have like a piece of gum, sometimes a cough drop, but like a couple things to keep my mouth moisturized. Is that a thing? I don't know.
It is a thing.
Like, focus too, especially if I'm doing like cardio. That helps. That helps.
Yeah, part of the way that cough drops work is they stimulate the production of saliva. So it actually does like help like with mouth dryness.
And like I related to that, I'm like give myself 1 or 2 cough drops because as someone with asthma, they can like trigger some asthma stuff. Like if you use too many of them, but it's like a reward where it's like, okay, I can't just keep the cough drops going the whole time in here. But if I get through this next exercise or this next set, right, like then I can add a cough drop back into the thing, right? Or like then I can add some gum. Like a lot of internal negotiations happening, right?
So many.
Focusing, right? Like don't choke on the cough drop. Don't actually accidentally swallow it. But yeah.
What's your cough drop of choice?
Ooh, I like a Ricola. You know, I can't lie. They're very nice, a little more expensive, but I'm like, we're a hard-working lady now. We can splurge on the Ricola.
I actually, because the air is so dry, like when I'm flying, I actually always have a Ricola when I'm doing a flight lesson. So
I can see that. That makes sense.
And I also recently had the thought that Ricolas are a little expensive. I'm like, oh, this is like a fancy cough drop.
And like the amount that you get for the money is like not as good as like Halls or whatever. But I'm like, Halls is if I'm really, really sick and I know I'm going to be popping them, right? Like
that's like a sick cough drop. Like,
yes.
That's like clear your whole thing out. Like,
all of it, right? But like, maybe this is one of my bougie areas because like the off-brand like cough drops equate or whatever the CVS brand, I don't need it. I feel like the paper always gets stuck, and I'm not trying to fight the cough drop. Like I don't want to do it again. I've worked hard. I've done that. Been there. I don't want to do it.
Get me the fancy cough drop from
Get me
Switzerland.
The fancy cough drop. Yes.
Or
in. What I will say is I've tried a lot of Ricola, and the ones that have the stuff in the middle, like I don't know if it's some sort of medicine. I am not a fan.
I don't like those either.
I don't like that at all. I don't need it. But
it does something to the texture of the whole experience is messed up.
It's not pleasant. I like the ones that are in like that pink bag, but they are like I don't know what they do. Like it feels like candy or whatever. Like I enjoy it, but I'm like I don't know that this is actually helpful.
It might all be candy. It's just all candy. It's all a construct. I don't know.
A little bit. Again,
what about
gym rituals?
Yeah. What about your car rituals?
So when I still lived in like a car driving life, R.I.P. to Sasha. That was my car. A lot of you knew my baby Sasha. We miss you every day. Definitely had to keep Sasha clean. But things that I had to have in the car were like a water bottle and a blanket. And that went back to like learning to drive and my grandmother telling me, always keep a water bottle, always keep a blanket and like a flashlight, like just in case. Which I guess is to say it's like evolved over time. Like when I lived in Miami, I had the little like beach kit because you never knew when you might need to like pull up at the beach to have your blanket, towel, that kind of thing. When I was like really on it, I would have a little car snack too, just in case we're running. And like really was like when I'm going into the grocery store and I need to have a nibble so that I make good choices. Car snack, little charging cord, usually some sort of thing that like emits a little good scent if I can. I used to love, and I don't even remember the brand. I think I got them at like the Dollar Tree. We used to like plug them in or like plug them into the vent, and it was just like a new car scent, but very subtle, very gentle, not overwhelming. But yeah, those are like my car rituals, like the things that I needed in the vehicle. And then usually I would like to decide, like once I'm in the car, buckled up, got to lock the door right away. Doesn't matter time of day or where I am because the world is wild. It's like deciding what I was going to listen to, right? Like, am I going to go book? Am I going to go music? Am I going to go podcast? Or just try to be out in the world and like listen to the road sounds. And now I think being mostly like when I'm in cars in Chicago, it's more like ride shares. Couple of things, I cannot have a jacket on, like it has to come off when I'm in the car, otherwise it's just like in the back I feel suffocated. Usually something to distract myself because frequently the cars just do not smell good and there's nothing you can do about it, but usually like a ginger candy or something too to try to offset any like road sickness, and an option to listen to something. And then like the last minute debate is, am I going to get in the car with the AirPod in to try to dissuade talking to me, or am I going to be open to a conversation when I sat in this car? And as you know from some of the stories I've shared, it does not always work out with me or work out for me. So those are my like ride share car rituals.
I love that.
What about you? And how have they changed over time?
I think for sure I always get in the car and then I always say, who is listening to this? As if I were not the last person to do the Spotify. I'm always appalled at a past version of me and what I chose to listen to and at what volume. So that's always first. I am someone, I keep the car really clean, but I have a lot of like stuff in there. Like I have to have like a hairbrush. I have a little perfume. I have car gum. Car gum is something I grew up with. Like my parents, when they got in the car, they always had to like put in a piece of gum, and now I also do that. Car gum is very important. I don't chew gum in any other context except in the car.
Interesting.
Yeah, like if I don't ever chew gum except in the car. Gotta have hand lotion in there, hand sanitizer, because it dries the hands out. I just have a bunch of little mini toiletries in there, like the tiny Vaseline, in case, in case my lips get dry. It's just, I have a tiny little toiletry case in there that has miniature versions of all of my things in case I need to do something in there. I always prepare it. I'm like, if I get stranded somewhere, I need to be able to like conduct myself, which
for a little bit longer,
right? Like I need to be able to.
I think you have to like edit in there a picture of your car toiletry kit. Like that's what we need to see, right? What does it look like?
It takes a lot to keep the ship afloat, okay?
It does, and it's another thing you have to remember to keep like refilled, because heaven forbid, you're like, okay, it's fine, I'll get it in the car. I have my little car Vaseline, and then you're like, oh no, it's empty.
I gotta have ibuprofen in case I get a headache in there. Those like little Vicks sticks that you can put up your nose and like smell. Like, what if I like need that?
It's true.
In case
you don't want to be like not feeling well, congested while you're trying to operate the vehicle.
Or like, there's a sudden bad smell and I can't. Okay, I actually do carry those on planes for that reason, because sometimes there's like a bad smell and you're like, oh my God.
That's such a good idea. I'm like borrowing that. I love that so much.
You just like do your little Vicks,
Little Vicks and a Vicks.
Listen, my husband thinks I'm absolutely insane.
Okay, that was going to be a follow-up question. Like, are the toiletries just for you?
They're just for me.
Do you share them with Eric? Like, do you have, like, options for others? Or is it just like, this is just me?
No, he obviously he could use them, but he never does. And I don't know how you go through this world without moisturizing and like making sure you smell good and bad smells don't assault you. I don't understand.
It's taking a lot of chance. It's really living, I guess.
Living on the edge, okay? You're not prepared.
Or besides that, did you and Eric, or do maybe you still do have any like major car things that you had to like reconcile to be able to coexist in a car over time?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I feel like that man travels through this world with nothing on him. And I travel through this world with so many things. So, yeah, I think that it was just all the space is for me. And Oh, yeah, and I also like I can't leave trash in the cart. Like that's like my big thing. Like even if there's like a receipt, like I have to like take it in
Gotta
with me and throw
go.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know?
No, I think similarly, like no trash. Even like if we're stepping out for a moment, this is a great time to step like throw out the trash, even if we're
Yeah.
not done in the car for the day. I think that I guess the spaces for me needs to be open, whereas I think Aiden is a little bit more of like the back seat is out of mine. Whatever's back there, it's just not a thing for me, and so I need the back seat. And I'm just like, but no, what if you're never gonna know? Like, what if there's a time and you need the back seat, right? Like, no, the back seat needs to be open.
It does.
Hmm.
It does. Well, I love that. I feel that
Hmm.
we have learned a lot about each other.
Important
And I love
too.
it. I love that we eat the same cough drops. Ricola, please
Shout out
sponsor
to us.
us.
Yes, add it to it. Okay, Canada Dry. I don't think we've forgotten about you though. Just giving a little time to give it a think. But yes, Ricola, join the club.
Join the club, the sponsorship club. Okay. Um, I have been thinking about something in terms
Okay.
of friendship, and I would love your opinion on it. I would love to talk to you about it. So, I've been thinking about this concept of enough in friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and this concept of, you know, as we get older, it's becomes more difficult to make friends sort of by default. You have like fewer default networks like school or going out to bars or whatever. And I was thinking about this concept of like, do I have enough friends? Right. And I think, especially like in your 30s, I think this comes up because, like, you know, friends are changing, they're moving through different phases of life. Maybe they're living in different cities than you. And it comes up in terms of like, should I be out there making more friends? Like, should I be like looking to expand my friendship circle? And for me, when I think about this, I'm kind of two minds. Like, I actually feel like I do have enough friends, but maybe I don't even know if that's grammatically correct. I feel like I have enough in terms of friends. I feel enriched and fulfilled by the relationships that I have with people. I think my friendships are quite deep. But I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you ever feel this tension of should I be making more friends at this age, or should I just be happy and settled in the relationships I currently have?
That's a great question. And so I think it's a tension too, right? Because there's a lot, and not to always blame everything on capitalism, but in some ways, when I think about this question or when I hear other people, reflecting on this idea, I'm like, where is it coming from that like you need to have more friends, right? Like I feel like if it's something in you that's like, hey, I don't feel connected to the place that I'm living, or I don't feel connected to community or people that, I can talk to or explore, do things with whatever, the things are that you have interest in, then like maybe that's a reason. But when it's like an external thing of like, oh, you need to have this amount of friends, or like you need to have more people, that to me, like what I guess I've been often find myself sitting with it is like that feels like a capitalist drive of like there's always got to be more, there's always got to be more people, when in reality I think we're so blessed if we have like one good friend over the course of a lifetime, especially that sees us like through phases of life. But if we are fortunate enough to have like several that we can like carry forward and carry through the different phases, or carry each other through the different phases, like that's high fortune. And so this idea that like we need to have more, just like that just feels like something rooted in capitalism. But it's like I think it's something that I continue to wrestle with. And like when we first moved to Chicago, because it was like, oh, I don't know a lot of people here, and like yes, I have like people at work, but I don't know necessarily feel like I'm not someone that's like, oh, my colleagues at work or even my work friends need to be like outside of work friends too. But it's like I try to ask myself, like, am I open? If I found someone, came across someone that I like really connected with, do I feel like I would try to make space for that? I don't always know that the answer is yes, but it's like that's what I kind of strive for too, like, or strive for more is like, can I be open to new people coming into my life in meaningful ways, and like thinking with intentionality about how I show up for them and how I feel around them, rather than like, do I have like, or can I have more? Because I do feel like I have enough, and I feel really grateful, and I don't want to like do anything that would negate my ability to show up for those people in the ways that they showed up for me, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's like a lot of thoughts. And I can't even remember what your original question was, but that's how I'm like thinking about it too. Like, yes, I feel like I have enough. And I hope that I can hold myself to trying to stay open because life likely will continue to bring different people in different ways and, different learnings that can come from those relationships. So I hope I stay open. Do I think you have enough friends? Yes. And so don't you try to replace me. Your neighbor that you were like, oh, she's black and I think she likes basketball. And I was like, no, just kidding. Just kidding.
Position filled.
Yeah, but I think you do a great job. Like, I think you do more than enough of like maintaining the relationship that you do have. And I've heard you like be in different circles and be invited to things and be like, oh, I might check that out. Like, I think you're open to just using kind of the framework that I was thinking about. But how do you feel? How are you sitting with that? Like, how are you navigating that question, those tension?
I actually think that the way that you reframed it as not asking instead of do I have enough, instead of asking that, asking am I open, I think that's actually so helpful and so powerful because I do feel like you're right to link this question of do I have enough to like overconsumption and capitalism, right? Because it's often after I find myself sort of like, on social media that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just watched all these videos about how to make friends in your 30s or, how to make sure that you're still connected with your long distance best friends. And it's all linked to this pattern of like consume more, do more, feed into this system of always wanting more, right? Because like these algorithms and the social media engine is just, it exists to make you want more than you already have. And there's a lot of power in sitting and saying, I have enough. Like, I feel like that's actually like very anti-capitalist thought, right? Because it doesn't push you to overconsume. Yeah, I mean, I think I have enough. Like I really do think I have enough. I feel fulfilled by the relationships that I have. And, knowing someone for a long time, I think it's such a funny thing because like I see all the versions of you that I've known like folded into who you are now. And I think that to be able to witness that in someone else is such a gift. And like, to be able to be excited about all of the versions of yourself that you are going to become in the next few years, I think is also really exciting and great. I think one thing I think about with like this question of enough is like also in the context of like when friendships kind of fall away or they are like, you move to a different city and you don't really stay in touch with someone. And I think, I sometimes think of it as like, oh, I wish I had stayed in touch with this person, or, oh, I wish I had done more. And I think that there is like space to have those thoughts and feelings and to miss the friendship. But I think there's also space to say like, it was a wonderful friendship for the time that it was there. It provided me with so much laughter and joy and meaning. But it's natural for things to have an ending point, and it was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that because I definitely have sat with that and like friends, especially people that you get really close with, whether it's, for a season because you share like a place, a school or whatever in common, or just a moment in time where, like you said, you're both, able to provide a certain type of like meaningfulness. I don't think that's grammatically correct, but either way, like letting things in. And it doesn't mean that like you had to do something wrong or like they even did something wrong. And I mean, maybe you both, or maybe one person did kind of like fall to the side. I don't want to say drop the ball because that is like opposite of what I mean, but like maybe you're just like, hey, they're not showing up. I'm not showing up. We got other things going on. Like that can be okay. And it can even be disappointing, but like sitting with the like, hey, it's a little bit disappointing, but like also it was good while it was. And that's enough, right? And like just letting things be. I really appreciate that. That's a good reminder because I think that creates space too, right? Like for new friendships, for new relationships, or learning with yourself, for deepening of friendships that you have, and just really that introspection that can help us think about like, hey, maybe I am feeling like lonely, or like I'm in this new phase and I hope to have friends that are like going through, motherhood with me, right? Or like I have a friend that's earlier in their PhD program. And like, that's totally reasonable to want that, to seek that, but just knowing that like anytime we're feeling like, no, it's not, I need to have more, I should be doing more. It's like a sign, I think, to be like, let me check that, right? Because there's no way to like, no one way to just live or be social. And anytime we're trying to get things externally, it's like gonna set us up for disappointment in ourselves and or putting too much pressure on other people, perhaps.
Okay, folks, it's time for a new recurring segment that I know Sarájanée is very happy about.
Very, very.
It's called the Book Club. And we're going to talk about the books that we have recently read and the books that we are going to read.
Yes, I love it. I'll get us started. I just finished To the Moon and Back, which is the word epic or like, I think it's an epic because it's like a multi-generational kind of lifespan story about, I believe it's a Cherokee woman who is like seeking to be an astronaut. It is long and and sometimes it's slow, but it's really, really, to me, it was really engaging, really informative, very thoughtful, which I always appreciate in a text. And so I recommend it to you. I think we both read that Taylor Jenkins Reid book about a person seeking to become an astronaut or an astronaut candidate. And they were like, the books reminded me of each other in times. And in some ways, we've like talked a little bit off the pod about our feelings about the Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I'm like, I feel like this is what she was trying to do in To the Moon and Back. But I'll be curious if and when you get to check it out, what you think. But I do recommend it. Meaningful characters, flawed characters, like people that you're like, oh, I can't really root for you, but also I'm kind of happy when things work out for you. But, you know, feels very like human and humanity centered, if that makes sense.
I love long books. I love long books.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like the attention span thing, too.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading something after, or like reading some of the reviews, which I don't always do, but I was just curious. And people were like, oh, I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't stick with it. And I was like, that's fine. Everything ain't for everybody. But also, I think some of that reflects like the moment that we're in, where like the news cycle is fast. Stimulation is constantly coming in. And like that shows up in our reading stamina too. Or maybe that's my education lens. I was just talking with the principal who's like, our kids, like they're reading short stories. They have a hard time like reading a full book, not because they're not literate, but just like the attention span to like see it through is not there. And I'm like, yeah, full books, long books. Stick with it. Even if you got to come back, take a break.
Yeah.
Spend the block on that book. But what are you reading or what have you just finished?
So I'm currently reading a book by Anthony Doer. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but it's called Cloud Cuckoo Land. And it's similarly an epic. It's one of these books that like takes place in like different timelines. Like there is like a timeline that's like in Constantinople, like the big ancient city. And then there is like one in like the way future on like a spaceship arc, and then there's one like in current day. I just started it. It's like 630 pages. I'm really excited. I love long books because I love like to have the book like kind of live with me over a period of time. Like I also like short books, but something about a long book is like you really get to sit with the characters and like find yourself thinking about them and like, you know, where it's going to go. I think, but then it's so devastating when it ends because you've like spent 20 years with these characters and I'm like broken. I will say there is a lot of like human animal friendships in this book. And
okay.
A while ago, you gave me one of the best books I've ever read, Salvage the Bones by Jesmyn Ward, which destroyed me from the inside out. There is, you know, spoiler warning, there is something sad that happens to an animal in that book. And I have such like trauma from reading that book that anytime there's an animal in a book, I'm like, oh my God, I can't handle it. I can't handle if something happens to this animal, which, you know, given sort of like what's happening in the story, I think it's inevitable. And I think it's a really powerful literary device to be able to show like, you know, how a character feels perhaps isolated from their community, but they're able to connect with an animal and like you can like tell a lot of like their personality through that relationship. But just know that I'm upset about it.
It is like, it's really intriguing how I guess because I feel like it happens even not just with animals, but like just non-human characters, right? What that allows us to see and consider. But speaking of Jesmyn Ward, and we're always talking about guests we would love to have on the pod, she is one. Like, phenomenal author, thought-provoking author. You definitely have to take some time after her books. Like, they get under your skin, for lack of better words. But like, I love her. I do want you to read Let Us Descend when you have some.
It's on my list, but
it's like a little bit more hopeful, which is like a thing for Jesmyn Ward. Like, not that her texts aren't hopeful, but they're just super real, super raw. But I feel like Let Us Descend ends on like a breath in note where you're like, okay, breathing in, releasing, like.
I don't know if I'm ready. I read Salvage of the World like 3 months ago, and I'm still so upset. When I started thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so upset.
Very fair. It's like devastating. It was actually
devastating.
It is heartbreaking. Like, when I think the scene, we're talking about the same one. I'm just like, I wanted to like jump in and be like, no, somebody like do something. Don't let this happen.
Oh my
like,
God, gutted. Good.
But that's similar to A Woman Is No Man. Had that kind of impact too. Is that Etaf Rum? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Like, gutted me, floored me. I was like, oh my heart, my whole heart, like,
gosh, it's oof.
Yeah, very good books. I'm starting one, speaking of books we've given each other that I believe you recommended. I just started today, Beautyland, staying in the world, the realm of space. So I'll keep you posted. We'll circle back. Maybe our next book club segment, I'll be finished and let you know
Beautyland,
what I think.
Love that book. Such a strange little book, but I loved it so much.
Love a strange read. We really love a strange read.
So
I also have to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I also have to give a plug. I just finished another romance, First Time Caller. It's set in Baltimore, which is fun. Like, so many books are set in like the big city. So whenever there's or like small towns. So when it's like, this is like a mid-sized city, mid-popularity city, maybe. But I enjoyed it, and it was cute, and it was the kind of character who's a mom, which also gets a little bit outside of typical romance. So like. It's like light romance, like not deep, all of the romance tropes, more contemporary is what I mean to say. So shout out to all the romance girlies. Check out First Time Caller. It's very cute, very sweet.
I feel like I need to read more romances because sometimes I like get in these modes where all of the books I'm reading are like so gutting. I'm like, this is fine literature, but I am so upset.
I mean, Abby Jimenez, I think you would really like Abby Jimenez because that's almost like on the cusp of like just more contemporary than like romance. But Abby Jimenez, Jasmine Guillory you would love. There's Helen. I'll text it to you, but
okay.
Helena Wang, I think. But there's some good stuff over there that I think isn't gonna like be overly sappy, but just like good storytelling, fun storytelling, exploring the tropes of friendship, love.
I need like light reads.
Yeah, you gotta buffer it a little bit.
I've not been buffering. I've been in here.
Just in the thick of it.
In the thick of it. Oh my gosh. And so I don't even realize it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, the past 3 books I've read are so sad.
Gotta like anchor it. It's gotta have some, or not anchors, but bookends.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another ritual questions. Do you have any rituals for either like when you're reading, what the environment needs to be like, or how you choose what to read next?
Yeah.
What are your reading rituals?
I always read when before bed. So I recently, in the past few months, have replaced my scrolling habit with reading. So if I'm like, thank you. So if I'm like, sitting around and I reach for my phone, I'll like be like, oh wait, let me just reach for my Kindle instead. So that's been a ritual. I really like to read in the afternoons. I think that is quite nice. Yeah, I can't be like laying down all the way because sometimes I will fall asleep. I have to be sitting up. It's really going crazy today, but yeah, sometimes I like to have a tea while I'm reading. Just, What about you?
No, that's very, very real. I love a morning read, and I think I've been trying to find ways to do that because as we've talked about, my morning rituals are like pretty tight in terms of what I need and the time I have to do them, but like before work and other activities. But I've been like trying to see if there are ways where it's just like a few pages, or if it's an audiobook, a few minutes that I can listen to in the morning, because I just feels like it keeps the possibilities open for me rather than just waking up and jumping into like, here's what's going to happen for work. Here are so many meetings, like just kind of expands the possibilities, or at least like where my brain is going for the day. Love a little tea. I will say I'm very much like a natural light or low light reader, right? Or like just not fluorescent, because I think that sometimes can make evening reading tricky, because I'm like, oh, I want to read, but like I got to be near a warm, low light and not anything that's going to like wake me up or just give me a headache. Definitely a little like tea, a little drink, a little water, sometimes a ginger ale. I already know that. But I'm like, it's hard for me to snack and read. I don't know. Like, haven't figured that out. Even when I'm listening to like an audiobook, I'm like, wait, I'm chewing too loud. I can't hear. But those are my rituals. Just that kind of a calmer moment, quiet moment. And sometimes in like ride shares too. Like those are moments where I can feel like I can reclaim some of my time. If I'm out and about, what school visits or whatever for work, like, oh, I'll listen for a couple minutes now, here and there. And I do try to balance it. Like, this was really heavy. Let's go a little light. Or maybe if I'm reading something heavier during the day, later in the evening, we're going to try to soften it up. Some of it, though, the ritual is just dictated by Libby and what they make available when they make available.
The great dictator.
And we're just in it, you know.
The great dictator. I swear some of these wait times are unbelievable.
Like ridiculous.
Like
it's
I'm
absurd.
in
40 weeks, 2 years. Leave me alone. Okay.
The worst is when it just says several months. Like, okay. Say no, but then sometimes because there are so many copies of that book, it like randomly becomes available.
Right. And I'm like, wait, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, it's so tough, and I never get a skip the line copy.
It's been a while for me. Like once a year, I think, but it's been a while since I got one.
I will only get it if I'm literally in a lull between like waiting for 2 books. It's like that's the only way I know I can like won't feel rushed to finish it, because I can finish a book in 7 days, but it is just like it's too stressful because it's like
I don't want that pressure,
right? Like you borrow it and immediately they're like 14 people are waiting for this. And it's like, okay, well, that's not my problem. That's your problem. You've created a situation of artificial scarcity that you are now offloading onto me, the reader.
Right. Oh, and sometimes though, if I do finish it early, I'm like, look at me. I'm going to return this early. You're welcome. Which is also not true. But I'm like, doing this the next person in line a great favor.
A great favor. A great favor.
But no, that's good. I do have to be comfortable. Yeah, not laying down, right temperature, all of the things that I needed to function well in life generally. Need a little neck support. Like,
Love that.
I've been finding myself, like I went back to a paper planner this year, just looking for ways to cut down on my screen time, get off my phone. I mean, I'm still calendars on there and whatnot, but I find that refreshing. And so I'm like, I'm going to start going back to some more hard copy books too a little bit. I still do it, but I'm like, I'm going to give myself permission to go back there if I can and just see what my reading stamina looks like there. So I'm like doing multiple paper books. Maybe that means I have to go to the library too to keep that going, which is a good thing, but it's not always easy, convenient in the city, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Staying open.
I love that. I love that. Well, that wasn't too bad. I liked that book club.
Look at it. It's working. It's happening, guys. Okay, so the tricks are not just talking about one book. Okay. I'm learning and making notes.
No wine.
No costumes.
No costumes.
Great. Really, really great.
I love books.
Books are wonderful. They really, really are.
So wonderful. Anything else on your mind?
Not today. Always do a weather plug. It's 60 degrees in Chicago. Shout out to fake spring because winter is not over. We know that, but I appreciate it. We needed it. It's been a real lovely weekend. Nice gentle breeze too. Go ahead, Chicago. You're doing great.
Love that. In Austin, high today is only 76.
Comfy.
Which is comfy. But I know that, the sun here is pretty direct. So it'll say 76, but it'll feel like 81, which is right on the edge. It's not time yet.
Not so much. It's got to hold out a little bit longer.
Just give me a little bit of spring before you burn me off the face of the earth. It's okay.
We just love brisk air, okay? We need a brisk moment.
Just a breeze.
That's all. That's all.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah, that's all I got for this week.
Okay. Well, this was a good one. I think that it's great. I think that does it for episode 24. 24, 23, 24. 24. If you like this episode, share it with your long distance best friend. Thanks for listening.